back. I'm Black, he's Red. This is Black and Red's official Ted 2 movie review. Starting. Who's it starring?
No, Mark Wahlberg. The teddy bear voiced by Seth MacFarlane.
Mark Wahlberg?
Mark Wahlberg, I said. What?
Yeah, Marky Mark.
I feel like I failed the test there or something. It's like, what's going on? I also featured Men's Stay Free.
I call her Gollum Eyes. I've always called her that. But...
Then you got Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
And I'm not sure we need to talk about anyone else.
Okay.
But yeah, I watched it.
Okay, what you got?
I'd give it a 6.2 out of 10. Not my favorite movie.
We know that much.
Part of it, I got full disclosure. I'm not a big Seth MacFarlane guy. Don't find his brand of humor particularly funny. Family Guy, it's not really that into him. So I mean, obviously, if you really like Seth MacFarlane, you'll probably like this movie a lot more than I did because it's very Seth MacFarlane-esque. But yeah, I mean, it goes long periods for me. This is just not very funny. It's a lot of jokes, but there's a lot more misses than his.
Yeah.
And they actually try to do a genuine plot throughout this movie too.
They did.
It's not just a comedy. So I kind of struggled with. There'd be periods where the jokes didn't hit for me for a while, and then they'd be giving me a plot that was very simplistic, so it was kind of painful at times. But yeah, like I said, I mean, really, if you're a big Seth MacFarlane fan, and or you watch Ted and you really like Ted, because this one obviously is a sequel. A lot of the initial appeal, you have a teddy bear that talks and it's kind of vulgar. The second time around, it's obviously going to be a little bit worse. Most movie sequels are worse in general, but this specifically because it's kind of giving you with a little catch factor. Aha, we have a talking bear. It's gonna struggle to live up to the first one. I think this one kind of fit nicely into that. But what did you think of it?
I didn't think it was that bad. I actually thought it was probably better than the first.
No.
I'll give it a 7.
Okay. What would you give the first one then?
The first one I'd probably give somewhere around a 7 or 6.8 or something. Something close to 7. I mean, it's like basically
the same score.
Basically.
Okay.
Basically, but I mean, for me, I didn't really like all the random black jokes, whatever.
Dude, there was some offensive black jokes in there. Out of nowhere. It's like no other ethnicity got it. It was like, I felt like there was a couple times like, wow, that's kind of
it's like,
unnecessary.
It's like a bit enough's enough, especially when I'm the only one in the theater. It's like, enough, guys. I got it. But I mean,
this theater is dark, right?
But trust me, I stood out in the darkness.
Not dark enough, not worth the nice.
Other than that, I mean, if like Red said, if you like Ted, the first one, you like Family Guy, you like the whole Stewie thing. Basically, Talking Teddy Bear is basically a adult Stewie. All he does is just talk shit, and he's just straight up perverted most of the time. But if you're into that kind of comedy, it's funny. You should go see it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. There was a lot of funny scenes in it, and Mark was hilarious in that movie. They got Tom Brady being awkward. They got a bunch of random people just being awkward in that movie, but that's about it.
Plot. So basically, what's it showing the show? She gets married at the beginning. Ted gets married at the beginning of the movie. Trailer trash wife. Yeah, she's something. And then basically the rest of the movie is about whether he's property or he's a human.
That's right.
And they have to go to the court to settle the issue. So that's pretty much the whole movie. Them trying to get a lawyer, which turns out to be Amanda Seyfried, and then them trying to fight this legal battle because Hasbro, whatever the company that made Ted, wants to claim him as property and try to figure out how they can reverse engineer him to then make a million more talking bears or whatever. But that's really the plot without spoiling anything. I don't know if... Yeah, I mean, I'd probably, unless you really liked it, even then I'd say you don't need to go watch it in theaters. I mean, you can watch it on demand or Redbox it.
Or just wait for it to come back and watch them, Ted 1 and Ted 2.
Or sure, you can wait to watch it on TV. Well, you can't watch TV. They have to be premium channels because they do a lot of swearing.
Redbox it.
Yeah, Redbox are on demand. There's probably, unless you're really into them, I wouldn't say go watch it. You're not going to get a lot out of being in the theater based on this type of movie, so take advantage.
I always suggest you go watch it at the theater. So
only one theater.
Hey man.
What if they don't have AMC's there,
if you don't have AMC in your area, come down to my neck of the woods. We got plenty.
Come down to your neck of the woods? Where do they live, in Canada?
Well, whatever.
Okay.
There's plenty of AMC around here.
All right.
Check it out.
But
you want to spoil it?
Yeah, I'll spoil it. Sure, why not? I mean, there's not a lot spoil in terms
You already
of
told him half
plot.
of the movie.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, well, that's the high level, right? Is that they're seeing, which I didn't really get to because he bought Ted as a kid. I mean, his parents bought him, legal transaction. So the Hasbro has no rights to him.
They don't.
So they're gonna kidnap him.
That's right.
But it's like,
It's
really?
not kidnapping if you steal somebody's property.
Yeah, that's true. It's bear napping, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, sure. I get that. Go through. Let's go. Okay, so they basically end up. He gets married, and then like a year later,
Yes, sir.
it becomes him and his trailer trash wife. They're kind of fighting a lot.
He's trying to
Then
have
it
a kid.
becomes a matter of he's property or not. They need a lawyer. No one wants to take the case. They're broke. Mark Wahlberg's broke. They end up making it, try to like make it a civil rights thing,
Yeah.
get American Civil Liberty Union involved and stuff, and get. I don't remember who they. Was it Coach? Who was the main lawyer that they try to see?
It's that silk white dude from a Madman, white haired guy. He plays that.
Oh, I don't remember his name, but not John Hamm, but not. Yeah, I can't remember his name, but the other one.
Madman.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. So, anyways, he says, I can't take that, but I got a new, fresh lawyer that just out of law school. We can do it. She can do it for you. Never had any trial experience, so it'll be a good experience for her.
Pro bono.
Turns out it's Amanda Seyfried who smokes weed,
Most
And-
college kids do.
but she's not in college and she's in her office smoking weed. So it's a little, but that's a selling point for them. They're like, oh, okay, we're good. So they can trust her. So they go on a road trip to try to get.
The top civil rights.
Yeah, she's like already given up on. So they.
She did. She lost the case.
Yeah, that was sort of like real quick, lost or whatever. She's not very good at her job, and then they end up having to spend a lot of money. They go on a road trip to try to get Morgan Freeman to represent them, and he's kind of like whatever, not really interested. And then Mark Wahlberg takes one for the team to try to save Ted because this guy Donnie from the first one, he's the one that Hasbro's like hired to try to capture Ted. He's trying to capture Ted. Mark Wahlberg, he tries to push something on Ted. Wahlberg pushes him out of the way. Classic gonna push him out of the way. He gets hit. He's in the hospital. So Morgan Freeman sees that and is like, oh, he's, if a human cares that much about you, then yeah, I should represent you for whatever. Ends up winning the case. Everything's swell.
Yeah.
But not, like I said, the plot's nothing to write home about. Takes away from joke times at points. But I left out earlier, but I should have brought up. If you smoke a lot of weed, you'll like this movie too because there's weed's featured heavily in this movie.
Yeah, but I don't think it was really high enough for the.
Yeah, but it features heavily. Like you see your product out there, you like it. A lot of branding in this movie for marijuana.
Tell me about your favorite scene, man. You got
Favorite scene. Nothing to do with the.
the sperm bank?
No. Favorite scene had nothing to do with the actual plot. How it played out, because let me explain. At one point they let Ted drive on this road trip, and he crashes into a barn. This car is like 20 feet up in this barn. It's halfway stuck in, and the guy sitting next to me leaned over to his girlfriend. I'd be like young 20s. He's a young buck.
That's so smart.
He leans over to her and he says, "How are they gonna get the car down?" 100% serious question. I wanted to lean over and ask her, does he ask gold questions like this all the time? Because man,
it's a pretty good question.
I laughed out loud so hard. It's like I was so late.
How were they gonna get it down though? It was stuck in the barn.
What? A teddy bear just drove the car into the barn. His first question is how they gonna get the car down? He was like, they're not gonna let that continuation skip through me.
No
and they don't show how it gets it down. So I'm sure it bothered them the rest of the time.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, they tied the rope and pulled it down.
I don't recall that. It's all whatever.
Come on, man.
It's all the same to me. It's terrible. But yeah, so I was out of it after that point. So that was to me the funniest part, but really had nothing to do with the movie itself. I also got carded.
Well, you look like a young buck.
I don't know how I passed for 16. I've been carded in movie theaters since I was like 15. I never get carded when I was 16.
You should.
But that was fun. That was really, and there was also a dog in my theater.
Somebody's blind?
No, because that's what I thought too. Because I mean, if you're blind, why would you be in a movie theater? And I learned. My mom told me that some people have like companion dogs, and that's like allowed.
Oh no.
So it was a dog. So like at one point I didn't realize it was a dog. Now I heard like this, like panting, and I'm like, man, what is going on over here? So I look around, I'm like, what's going on here? And I'm like, I see a big dog. I'm like, oh my god, this is a disaster.
You know me.
But the dog was well behaved. I mean, no offense, but I was confused because I first thought it was like, well, are they blind? Because then obviously they can't. They're in the back. We're in the back row together too. Like I was on the far right. They're in the back left. It's like there's no way. Especially if you're blind. That's pushing it when you're blind and you sit in the back.
That'd be my first guess, man. Hey, did you hear about that soundtrack, man, or something? You hear about that soundtrack?
That Pitch Perfect 2, maybe. Not this movie. But yeah, no, that was my favorite moment in the movie. Oh, and then also I liked when Ted called out Amanda Seyfried. She asked if she had a certain type of eyes, and he said, "No, you have. Give me the ring, my precious eyes."
Yeah.
And she hadn't, the character hadn't seen Lord of the Rings.
But the thing is, I've always referred to that girl as Gollum.
Yeah, but they don't think you'd claim it.
I'm not gonna claim it. It's like
I'm just saying, like,
glad
it's
somebody
fun.
else.
It's funny when you see that too, because obviously. But then they show her as Gollum, like Gollum's in there.
Yeah.
But that was kind of funny because she's supposed to be this very attractive actress, but she's got compared to a little creature in
Is she?
a hobbit, former hobbit. But yeah, what was your favorite scene?
The sperm bank, probably.
Yeah, I mean
I
that's.
thought it was funny. And
What part of the sperm bank though?
when the shit just toppled
Nah,
right.
I thought
right
the part
over.
before that was funnier when he was interacting with the lady.
Yeah, awkward. But
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
that's all I got on that. Check it out at AMC. Tell me what you think.
Yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to say about it. Yeah, no, it's like you talked about. If you're into them, go watch it.
Yeah.
If not,
Yeah, people know
Maybe
what
watch
you're
it on-
getting. You know what you're getting into.
yeah, no, for sure. I mean, if you didn't see Ted 1, definitely don't watch Ted 2. So, with that, please let us know how you like the movie in the comments below and subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.